So, some time back, I made a video talking about how immigrants, you know, have this prejudice towards black people, right? And how even some folks that have melanin in their skin, they use, when they come to America, they use the fold of blackness to get ahead, right? Or to just kind of like benefit from certain things, right? Or certain programs that might already exist. Um, so they use it, right, for their advantage. And I also express how those people at the same time, they might not even really like black folks, right? Black as a culture, black people here in America, right? Um, so I talked about the prejudices, and I can't really fully remember the video, but I was just basically highlighting those things, right? Like how sometimes I even had to check my mom because some of the things that she would say. But it's two sides of that coin, right? I think that, like, although I witness how people come into the country and take advantage of coming into the black fold, right? In this country, because a lot of people still hold on to their nations and their tribes, right? Because a lot of people kind of like have the information. On the other hand, I also witness black folks like exploit, abuse, target other people who just were foreigners, right, or were immigrants. And I think that a lot of times we don't talk about that, right? Like, again, because black folk, they love to be the victims. They love to, you know, it's everything is, oh, we oppressed and we this and we that and we just can't get right. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the narrative, right? But anyway, yeah, so I'm here to talk about the other side, man, that we don't really be talking about like that, right? And one of my bros was breaking it down when I made the other video, when I was talking about how, like, Caribbean people or other folks, they kind of like look at black folks a certain way. And a lot of times we love to run with this narrative that, oh, it's just stereotypes, it's falsehood based on the government agenda, blah, 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 blah. But I'm here to tell you that, like, the same way y'all always running around telling people, like, oh, that's their truth or that's their experience, you can't deny somebody their experience. There's countless people who have had negative experiences. So, and a stereotype, for those of you who don't know, a stereotype is something that is true. It's just, what's the word I'm looking for? It's just overly exaggerated. So when somebody say, oh, Spanish people are loud, or when they say Puerto Ricans are loud, or Dominicans, whatever group you want to say is loud, that's not a lie, right? Now, to say every Dominican is loud, yes, that's okay. You're stretching it, right? But you get it. The point is, stereotypes are based in truth. It's just overly generalized sometimes, but it does not take away that this is something that does be happening in whatever community is being said. So anyway, I give you a short story. Like, there's so many people who, when they came here, they were impoverished, or they needed help, they needed some type of assistance, and maybe they moved into public housing. I remember when I was 12, I moved into public housing. 12. When I got there, the dudes in the projects, they were black. Okay? Black dudes in the projects trying to jump me. For no reason. For no reason. Simply because I was the new kid in the projects, and they were trying to intimidate me. They thought they were gonna beat me into submission. I can't even make out what was the reason, right? But I'm here, I moved with my mom. I'm here in this place. My mother is trying to figure out how to provide for me as a single mom, right? And here it is. I'm having issues in the projects with black kids, right? Maybe it wasn't no cultural thing, right? Maybe it was, but a lot of times you hear a lot of these stories where some of these kids, even if you look at how MS-13 started, right? It was as a direct result of there was already existing gangs in the neighborhood, right? So when you really look back and people try to paint this like they just be stereotyping us, and it's because of the white man and the government. Nah, homie, there's people that lived in these communities and they witnessed what black people had done to other people. I remember growing up when people used to be like, let's go rob the Chinese man, right? When they used to say, let's go drive the cab, let's go rob the cab driver. And the cab drivers usually was folks of other cultural background, right? Or other ethnicity. Now, some of us might say, oh no, it's just a coincidence, right? Okay. I also remember a time when people was like, yo, let's go beat up the Mexicans. You know, let's go rob the Mexicans. Like, so I remember so many times, right, when I was in these groups of folks, right, black folks, and they specifically wanted to target other people, right, of different backgrounds, racially, culturally, right? But again, we don't really be talking about that. Now, I'm not here to bang on black folks. I'm just here to say that, like, we can't always say it's the government pushing this narrative or this negativity when people are experiencing like what those people have done to them and their people, right? People are experiencing things all the time. Now, of course, people come here from somewhere else. People might feel some type of way. Even right now, right? People are having this issue about they're coming here to get help. They getting XYZ, and we've been here this long and we never got nothing. Blah 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 blah, and that could lead to frustrations. And you know, we also know the rhetoric of they come here and they taking the jobs, and we understand that. And the other side of that is how many times have we heard black folks say, I ain't working on no McDonald's. I ain't flipping no burgers. I ain't selling no peanuts in no corner. I ain't selling no water in no highway. I ain't selling no fruits at the train station. I'm too good. I ain't scrubbing no toilet. How many times have we heard black folks say that? But we want to run with the narrative that, oh, they come in here and they taking our jobs. And another narrative could be they doing the jobs you don't want to do. Another narrative could be like, well, the government benefits because they could pay them less money. It's a whole bunch of narratives. It's a whole bunch of narratives that are taking place, but we only seem to look at it from the victimhood perspective, right? But let's keep it a buck. How many of our homies done said, like, I'm not getting no job. I can't do that. I can't be working for minimum wage. I can't be waiting on no paycheck. I'm too good to do this job. I'm too good to do that job. How many times? Let's be real. So before we sit there and keep running with this narrative, let's be real. Let's be real. We not only have we oppressed our own folks, we also have oppressed other folks on some ethnical. I don't even know that's the word. On some based on ethnicity, based on culture. You know, let's be real. Let's be real, bro. It's not the prejudice is not just, it's not coming out of nowhere. It's not just the white man. It's people are literally experiencing stuff. People are literally experiencing stuff. Like I experienced people peeing in their elevators. Black folks. They didn't care about their housing. But if I say that, people gonna try to crucify me. It's not all of it. But let's talk about the problem. Let's talk about how many people in this country that live in projects, right? Let's talk about how many of them don't care. How many of them were raised a certain way? How many of them was actually raised in a home where they have values, respect, morals, and all of these things? Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. Right? I see people not take care of this stuff, spit in it, pee in it, destroy it, vandalize. Right now, I work for housing, right? So I see how people treat their apartments. I see the filthy ways that people don't take care of their apartments. Not only are they not taking care of their apartments, they're not taking care of themselves. They're not taking care of themselves. So the point of this message is for us to look at different perspectives and look at how when you look at history, there has been a lot of responses to things, right? And I gave you a few of them, right? When you see there's a minority that comes. The other day I was watching a video or how the Trinitarios came about, right? You start to see the little pieces, right? You know, we hear the stories about how the Bloods formed in jail in New York and they came together because the Spanish people was banging on them, right? We hear that. But we also don't hear how black folks was banging on Spanish people. Like, we never want to talk about the foul shit that black folks have done. And then even when we bring up the foul shit that black folks have done, we justify it. We be like, well, you know, the white man, Willie lynching. Nah, homie, we gotta be accountable to the wrong that we have done. The same way I could sit here and be like, yeah, I used to participate in some of these things, right? I adapted to the culture, right? Wear do-rags too. Start dressing a certain way. You know, you start participating in destroying your building too, because you don't like it. You start peeing in the elevator too. You start spitting all over the place. You don't care. You don't clean up. You litter. We don't care about our communities, man. But we getting this from somewhere. Why we don't take care of our neighborhoods? Why we don't be like, yo, I'm not going to pee in my elevator. You know why? Because people got to walk into their apartments. You know what? I'm going to throw the trash in the garbage. I'm not going to leave it here so the housing people got to come all the time and clean it up. Or people got to come home too. Come on. And these are children that are being raised by grown-ups. Like, what are you teaching? Listen, if I threw something away, if I was with my mom and I threw something, if I threw garbage on the floor, my mom would tell me, go pick that up. She would tell me, go pick that up. And I'll go pick it up, throw it in the trash can. To this day, my mother would do that. She said, go pick that up. So, come on, let's be real, man. Let's acknowledge that, like, yo, there is a lot of folk in our communities who did a poor job raising their children, who don't care about the community, don't care about their livelihood, don't care about their apartments, don't care about their health. And because they don't care about themselves, their health, their environment, they go out there and express that to the world. And they'll violate the neighbor, and they'll violate the whoever. They don't care because they don't care about themselves. So let's be real. It's not dislikeness or hatred from the other side for no reason. There's things that have happened in the past that has created like this environment where like people don't like each other. It's for a reason. So let's not ignore the role that one side plays and what's going on presently. Hopefully, let me know your thoughts in the comment section though. Peace.